Hey guys, and welcome back to another War with the Interceptor. So today, D69 is going to be taking on ISO8A. They are one of the top 5 alliances in the world. So, very unfortunate matchup for us, facing a top 10 alliance in Omni, and then back-to-back, we face ISO8A. So yeah, we knew going into this war there was absolutely no chance we won. There was a period of this war where we were winning. I believe we were both at around 60 attacker kills, and we were at 3 deaths and they were at 4. However, when I went to bed, we died about 15 times while I was asleep in about 40 fights, and we had no chance. And then after there, we stopped boosting. I kept boosting because I always do, even if I know it's a loss. It's just a principle of mine. But yeah, so today we're taking in the team of Human Torch, Medusa, and Warlock. So this is a very generic team. This team could probably take almost anything on the map. However, I do have specific paths in mind. I have 8 whole fights this war, which is a lot, and one of them is a full 5 minutes long against a ManThing. So yeah, we're taking on with this Mephisto, and this is Strike Back and Aggression Fury. And I will be using Human Torch a couple more times this war. However, this is the only time I need to pre-fight for. So I think he is this one and one more fight, but the second one does not need the pre-fight. But against Mephisto, you can also do it without the pre-fight, but it's just that your Incinerates won't be doing damage, and I prefer mine to be doing damage. So I don't know what happened there. It just jumped back to the beginning of the clip. So let me just go back to where it was at. So we were at about right here. And then it just randomly jumped back. But there we go. We do cancel his healing with our Nova Flames. They do passively reduce and can reverse healing. And then he goes down. So on the next node we have a Sorcerer Supreme. Not really a good defender, Sorcerer Supreme. She's more of a diversity champion, but she is a god of an attacker. And if you can build paths around her for Alliance War, she can absolutely destroy it. So 90k health. I believe there's actually Power Focus 1 on this node. And Special 2 is the special you're supposed to bait out of Sorcerer Supreme. So that is going to be a little bit annoying, but as long as we burst her down, we should be fine. So I did intentionally not parry there because I wanted to take more than one blocked hit so that I could get to my 20, because the goal here is to get into my Nova Flames. I don't believe I ever get there, but it's also a very safe fight. So you want to bait L2 always. It's a very, very easy L2 to bait out. Also, the L1's very simple to evade. I believe I have I have to bait 1 in this fight, and I just block it because I don't really care. But you can very easily dex first time and just double evade it there. Very, very simple. So yeah, there we do throw our L1s, and I should have been doing medium, light, medium in this fight, as that is the best way to fight with Torch. However, I just don't really think it was needed. Oh, I actually do have another Torch fight, so that's not the last Torch fight. I just remembered one more I have. So now we're going up against this Human Torch. This is actually going to be a rank 3 6-star on this node. And when you have a rank 3 6-star Torch, I don't recommend placing him on defense. I've said this before. We fought another one in, I believe it was War 2 or 3. But this is a very simple node. This is on the lane with Ebb and Flow knockdown. However, this is the mini boss, so it does not have Ebb and Flow knockdown. So what our plan is to never let him throw us a single bar of power. So we're always going to have either a stun, an armor break, or a bleed debuff on him. I don't run any deep wounds at the moment, but I do have 5 out of 5 unlocked if I need to, and I'm very consistent at fully evading his L1, so we're always going to do that whenever he throws it. And I'm actually not too concerned about this fight, just because even if he does get a smolder or 2, it's not the end of the world. Because we're going to be always power draining him, that it's going to be so rare. So yeah, Heavy's doing 12k with those armor breaks and the crits. Almost 13k is pretty insane. I did also boost before this clip, but I've just recently been getting into the habit of not showing myself boosting because I kind of think it's pointless, because you guys know I boost for every single fight no matter what, and you can usually tell by my PI whether I'm using suicides or not and how boosted I am. So that fight does go down in 43 hits. Warlock is absolutely insane, so that was a very easy fight. And this one actually refused to edit, so we are going to have this little bit of a recording clip at the beginning. I don't know why, but it literally wouldn't let me use the video unless I didn't edit it. So we are just going to skip ahead to when I'm done boosting here. And I do have I think I have 5 fights in this clip here. So yeah, there's a lot. So I did wait. I had enough energy to clear 3 of my fights before I went to bed, but I decided no one's waiting on me. No one else in the left side was taking any mini bosses. So I was able to just go forward and take out all of these guys all in one while I had enough, I could get enough energy to get to my last 2 fights as well. So on this node, this is the node where if the opponent has an armor up and you crit them, you get a bleed debuff on them, the crit does 0 damage, and you remove the armor up. We just remove all of Colossus's armor ups right away. The most popular option for this fight is Warlock. Usually you use a Corvus for this node because opponents tend to use a tech champ with a lot of armor up buffs because they're the chitinous thorns or chitinous, I don't really know how to pronounce it. The bleed is incredibly potent and it can kill any non-bleed immune. Even it can kill bleed resistant champions sometimes. So 1 L2 here just to finish off the fight is enough. Very nice fight, and we'll go up to the next one. So on this next node, we are going to have a Warlock, and this is why I brought Medusa. This is Medusa's only fight, and I do not believe that this fight actually warrants a Medusa. I could have done this easily with Torch or Medusa. Actually, I couldn't have done it with Torch because I don't have my pre-fight. But this is also a rank 3 6-star Warlock. So for a rank 3 6-star Warlock, he can be a little bit problematic on defense, but they decided to actually throw him on a garbage node, which I'm actually very appreciative of. But there's explosive personality, and basically all there is on this node is armor up. So all you have to do is make sure to throw your special one before you get an infection on so that you never fail any of your charges. And you can see we're hitting super hard already. I do have max block proficiency on, so the blocked hits are not going to be doing much even if we miss our parries, or sometimes we're not even going to go for the parries. Warlock's L1 is incredibly consistent to evade. It's the same timing as Korg for the first 2 hits, but yeah, it's just very easy. So I did throw my L2 there just because I knew there was absolutely no chance he would get to throw another bar of power for the rest of the fight. So we're just going to end that with a medium there. Very, very nice fight. That fight could literally not have gone better with Medusa. Now we'll go into this next fight. I believe this is also a rank 3 6-star. Let's confirm that though. It is a rank 3 6-star, so I believe that's the 3rd we'll fight this war. And there's more to come. That is not the last rank 3 6-star. But honestly, at this point, as long as the enemy is not like a crazy hard defender in the current meta like Doom or Mojo. Mojo actually is very good on a couple nodes. He can be very problematic, as you guys will see in War 6. I think it's War 6 against Asgard. But yeah. So in this fight, there is Buffet, and he's going to eat those armor ups, but as soon as we get to our 20 charges, he's never going to do anything again. So we do get our suppress on, our power gain getting lowered, but I actually don't care about that because with Warlock, you never need to throw any specials. This whole fight, all we're going to do is parry heavy and try to trigger the evade as soon as it activates. So we're also playing the game of not letting him throw a single bar of power. However, that's not going to work out as he is going to throw a couple L1s throughout this fight. But as you can see, we're 45 seconds into the fight. He's already at 50% against a rank 3 6-star. So there's really nothing to worry about on this node. As long as the evade is gone, you can just wail into him and not even worry about a thing. His L1 and his L2 are both insanely easy to evade. His L1 it doesn't actually hit you unless you intentionally charge into it, because he doesn't move forward while he's using it. He stays in the same spot, whereas his L2 is just one dash forward and then a couple projectiles that are very, very easy to evade. So there we actually have our infection fall off, so we just need to land a parry to get it back on. And yeah, very, very straightforward fight with Warlock. Definitely the best option for the stealthy on this node. But yeah, it's just parry heavy. And the fight is over. So now we go into a fight that is the clickbait of this video, the 5-minute Warlock, or 5-minute ManThing fight. We are going to be fighting him with Warlock, and it is a crazy fight. I wildly underestimated how much health this ManThing had, and it is going to be very annoying. So this is a rank 2 6-star ManThing on this node. Anyone who rank 3s their 6-star ManThing is crazy. So I'm not surprised that this is the highest rank that we'll see. We are going to heal up a Warlock to 100% and use an invulnerability boost, just because I have absolutely zero faith in my ability to not parry by accident while he's unblockable. So with this node, Vigorous Assault, ManThing's actually an amazing placement on this node, and the reason he is on this node is because if you don't know the way ManThing's abilities work, every time he's under 50% and he throws a bar of power, he gains a regen buff. It's not passive, it is a regular regen buff, and while he's over 50% throws a special, he's going to get the Fury. So he is defensive, so that means anytime that we dex, he's going to get indestructible. And also, you can't evade his L1 while it's unblockable, or while he's unblockable. Like, it's literally not possible without triggering dex. So you'll notice that anytime he's unblockable, we're going to try to push to an L2 and fully evade it without dex. I didn't get it right there. But he's also armor break immune, like just the champion is. So that's going to be a little bit problematic for our L2 not really doing too much damage. But as long as I stay alive in this fight, it looks like we're on good pace to win. So we push to another L2 here. We can't drain his power because we don't have the armor ups, the armor breaks. But yeah, our medium crits are doing 1300 damage. That's because of ManThing's natural resistance, but you see right there, whenever you dex the L1, you trigger indestructible, you have to block. Which means that when he is below 50% and we have to fully evade it and then block, we can't block until the regen's out. So after every single special one, there's like a massive waiting period before we can block, which is going to delay the fight and is the reason we almost time out in this fight. So yeah, let's keep going. He is at 65%, 1:30 in, so our pace is getting much better. We are on pace to finish the fight in about 40 seconds left. By the way, this fight would be completely impossible if they had not updated the timers. We would have sent a Quake to this fight. However, we were sending we had two Quakes this war, and they both had to go to the left side for the minis because they had one was using a Quake and the other one was using a Doom for the Guardian you guys saw. So yeah, so now he is just about to cross into 50%, and I realize right here, okay, the rest of the fight, any special he throws, he's going to be unblockable. Any L2 I evade has to be perfect. I fuck it up. So there, we're just hitting into him to try to get him to throw another L1. But also, because of the infection, we're going to be power draining him while he has a regen buff up, which is a very, very good thing. If it was not for that, we would have timed out in this fight. So yeah, we are going to try to push to another L2 here and get in a little bit of damage where we have an opening. If this node was stun immune, probably I also would have timed out. There's so many things that just lined up for this fight so that I wouldn't time out. But yeah, we're going to trigger an L1 here, or we're going to power drain him a little bit. I do hit a nice intercept there while he was unblockable. That was just to push him back a little bit. But there we go. That's over, and I actually get parried because I countered his heavy late. But luckily, that's what our indestructible boost was for. And then I get intercepted. So yeah, very, very bad 5 seconds right there. But we do hit a nice intercept there, and we fully evade his L2 without dexing. Now we have 1:40 left on the clock, and he's at 30%. And this is where I'm like, oh shit. Maybe gotta rush it a little bit. So anytime that he is not unblockable, we're going to try to parry to get him to throw an L2 and try to get it without dex. But also, there's a problem. If I get stuck in the corner, I'm kind of screwed because there's nothing I can do but just dex endlessly. This guy's also running 4 points in Mystic Dispersion, so anytime we get that, we get a buff nullified, which is either going to be the armor up or the buff that he applies to us via throwing his L1. He is going to gain a burst of power, which in some cases will help. most of the time not. So there we do hit a nice intercepts. That's the intercept I've been practicing for a while. That makes it very reliable to intercept the opponents when they have a bar of power. So there we actually hit a bunch of nice light intercepts in a row. We're going to bait out one more L1, and I believe he's actually going to die after this one with about 30 seconds left. Maybe a little less than that, maybe like 20 seconds left. So yeah, 5% left. You could take this fight easily with a rank 3 6-star Warlock, however, we don't have one yet. If I form a tech tier 5 CC in my opening in like a week or two, then I will be taking my Warlock to rank 3 over Ghost, just because Warlock has more immediate use to me right now. But now we are into our last fight this war. That was a very stressful and very long fight, but at least it is over and we won. The invulnerability boost, I don't think it was necessary. We probably would have survived with about 30%, but that's alright. So now we have Stunning Reflection Polka Dot Power. So I did turn off Suicides for that Man-Thing fight because I knew I'd have to spam L2, because even if it didn't do much damage, without that damage I would have timed out. I planned for the invulnerability boost to carry me through these two fights because I thought that fight would take about half as long as it did, but it turns out that didn't work out, so I had to use a second invulnerability boost. Don't know why I threw that heavy there, but we're going to try to get right into our Nova Flames right here. We have 8 on him, and we do trigger our Nova Flames. This fight starts out very well, but there I badly mistimed the L1 evade. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. Or I couldn't think of which special I was evading. I forgot. And then, yeah, so I'm going to miss the L1 evade multiple more times this fight. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm about like 90% confident punishing the L1 and like baiting and punishing, fully evading. But I don't know what's wrong with me. That is the 3rd time I mess up. If I'd messed up in the fight one less time against the L1, I would have won this fight. But I just played like absolute garbage in this fight, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I had a great war. It was maybe one of my cleanest wars in a long time. And I've already taken 7 fights this war. So there I did go for a backdraft intercept, but here he's going to heavy me. In hindsight, I did get hit by 3 heavy attacks as well, and I could have just dashed back out of them. But getting hit 8 times with a combination from heavy attacks while I'm stunned from the shock, as well as from what's the word? Oh, as well as from badly missing the L1, right? We would have won that fight. But we are going to heal up Torch. We revived because there was just no one heading to the right side that had a great counter for this. The guy going to the next node's bringing a Corvus. He's a rank 3 6-star Corvus that we always send there. So this fight actually goes incredible. So we get all the L1 evades. We punish the intercept. This is how the other fight should have gone. And I don't know why there was such a disparity between this fight and the last fight. But right there, I did actually get a stun on myself from the Dex that got nullified. But we're just going to throw our L1 here. I thought I actually countered that with an L1. I guess we threw an L1 right there. So yeah, that fight goes down. Unfortunate to get a death there. But at this point in the war, we were losing by about 20 attacker kills, and there was no way we were winning, so it didn't really matter. Also, I thought I should mention something about this war that I did not when we were let me clarify that. Something about last war that I did not. So when we were fighting Omni, we were winning for almost the entire war, and then we died a lot at the end. It's the second last war here, you can see. Omni didn't clear one of their battle groups until 5 minutes left in war. So they left it all to the last minute, and then they cleared, I think it was like 16 fights with only dying once, which included a rank 3 6-star thing boss that they took with Stealthy. Rank 3 6-star Stealthy. But shout out to them. It was a great war. Also against ISO8A, we lost by 40. So we died 58 times here. 58, because they had one death that didn't count. So that is going to be it for this war. Hope you guys enjoyed. That makes us 3-2 on the season, and I have 5 deaths. So we're keeping up the pace of dying once per war, but I promise next war I won't die. For our PSR this season, we are 25 out of 30. I've died 5 times in 30 attempted fights, which means 83%. So you guys know our goal is 95% in any season. Last season we hit 94%, so we were very close to the goal. Last season I died a total of 5 times, and in 5 wars so far I've already died 5 times, which means I really need to stop dying in the season. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I've also been taking way harder fights than I ever did last season, so that's probably part of it. That is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.